Hi, I hope you're very, very well. Okay, so I get up in the morning and I try to work out a bit, not in the gym or anything else, but I walk a bit. And when you walk, you get so much time to think. But before I walk, I actually spend time pruning. I get into the garden and I prune and I cut and I sweep and I look after my garden. Yeah. So I spend an hour and a half over there and then I walk for about 45 minutes to an hour. And all that time you get, and it's early in the morning, so you get so much time to think, right? And I do most of my thinking at that point of time. I mean, I think through the day, but things that go through my mind, about my childhood, about things that bother me, that don't bother me, things that make me happy, make me sad, make me laugh out loud, all that. You just think. And today I was thinking that, being one of four girls growing up in a household where the only man was my dad, and an awesome, awesome father he was. But, all the time we were told, don't do this because you're a girl, and do this because you're a girl. And it was just so, I mean, maybe all my life I've been this black sheep which breaks rules and does everything out of the norm. And yeah, I am the way I am because of it. Because I think um, that rules are man-made, most of it. I mean, there is tradition, there is culture, there are things that we grow up with ingrained in our brains, which our parents have done and we have passed it on as well. But the little things that used to bother me endlessly. As a little girl, we were told, I remember when cross your knees and sit down, cross your feet, across your ankles and sit, don't sit like the boys do. And I always wondered, yeah, he's wearing jeans, I'm wearing jeans. How can he sit the way he wants, and why am I supposed to sit like a lady? And those are just little things, yeah. I mean, got a little older and learn how to cook because you're going to get married and you'll have to keep home and house. And where does it say that boys don't need to learn how to cook? And why do only girls have to learn how to cook? I mean, maybe in my day and age it was very different, and now it's different. But I was born in the flower era, yeah, in the 60s. And it was a tough time at that point of time. It's all the rules that we set out and bothered me endlessly. Endlessly. Of course, we think differently, we work differently, we act differently, we move and speak differently compared to men. That's because our brains and I mean all the things that our body is made up of, yeah, makes us do different things. Like the hippocampus in our brains, it's the part of our brain which much larger than the men. And because of it, when there's an argument, we feel with emotion and feelings, we try to tackle things, while men with logic and facts and everything has got to do with the brain. I can understand, yeah, that women are like this and men are like that. But when man-made rules started bothering me, I think that black sheep in me kicked in. And I decided just to become the black sheep of the family. you know, so many years ago, there was no question of a girl getting divorced and moving far away from home to stand on her own 2 feet. But I did it. And I know it upset my parents no end. But Because of it, I have become the person that I am. I'm a strong woman who believes in myself, who knows that I can look after my daughter, and has tried to give her the life that I've always wanted to give her. Where does it say that the woman has to be much younger when she gets married to a man that's much older or older? I mean, why? I could never understand that. I mean, I got married to a man who was 10 years older to me, and where did that get me? Yeah, but and also I think that women mature much more faster. At 18, I think an 18-year-old girl is way more mature than an 18-year-old boy. So why should the guys be older than the girls when they get married? Yeah. It's questions that have always bothered me. Probably if ever I decide to get married again, which I never will. But if I do, I'll choose somebody that's way younger to me, just to break that norm. Oh God. Yeah, these are things that have just today just ran through my head. And we as women, we give life um, to beings. It's a little bit of help from the man, but the child grows inside of you. You give birth. And we are like a free spirit. We are like organically made that we just flow with the water. We are like, when things happen, we go with the flow. And sometimes I think that when we get stuck, it's most often a guy that makes you get stuck. I'm not saying men are not good or women are way stronger. I'm not one of those bra burning feminists. No, I'm not. Um, but but I wish there weren't so many man-made rules for us, even as kids. It's just drilled into our brains. Why? Don't get on a bike. Only bikes are meant only for men. I mean, I was just so proud when I saw my elder sister on a Yamaha, whatever those bikes are called, zipping around town at the age of 20, 21 in Trivandrum, not even anywhere else. It was in Kerala. Yeah, I don't think we should slot people, kids especially. When you put them into little boxes, you are not letting them spread their wings and fly away and and experience and enjoy everything that life has to give you. When you put them in compartments, then they stop thinking out of the box, which is really sad. And then you're just you are these all these rules and regulations spin this thing around you, which you do something, and if it's not under the norm, then you think that you've done something wrong. Yeah. So I actually, from a very young age, I started thinking differently and knowing that I want to be different and I want to experience everything that everybody can experience, not just a man and not just a woman. I mean, my dad used to take apart, if the TV is not working, he'll take apart the full TV. Yeah. But I do the same. I mean, I can fix bulbs and fuses, and my microwave doesn't work, I can get it going again. And of course, by the time I take something apart and put it back, I'll get a couple of screws extra, like my father, but it still used to work. So, I mean, of course, we have to grow up with values and the right, but that's the job of a parent, yeah, and that's what we do. We respect your elders, don't hurt living beings, nurture children, elderly, Go organic. Value your earth and your world. Learn to breathe. Make sure that you breathe and eat well and live well. Those are things that we have to those are just, you cannot get out of that. But I'm talking about just those really silly rules that we set out. I never really set out rules for Kavi growing up. It was always like, I say, Kavi, when you are going to do something, picture my face in your mind. And if I look angry, then you know for a fact that you shouldn't be doing it. If I'm smiling, then go ahead. And if I'm really happy, definitely go ahead. And she's grown up with that. And I think that's made her a much more broad-minded human being. Narrow-mindedness is something that I cannot stand. You know, oh, why did she do that? And why did he do that? And they shouldn't have done it. And that's all just rubbish. Keep your values and all those things that your parents have passed down, the good ones, keep it close, and I think everything else you can, I mean, I do, not talking about everybody, but I make my own rules. Sometimes I break them, and I don't even want to make rules. Yeah? Well, actually, let's say I live on the path that I've chosen, and the path that I have created, and that makes me just such an open. I feel so liberated, and I feel like I've got wings on my feet, on my shoulders, just to explore and experience everything that we should. Strange topic to talk about, but it did cross my mind, so I decided to talk to you about it. I shall see you soon. Bye-bye.